Thank you for joining RasPipKr tutorials. I'm Martin Parker, and in this video I'm going to be bringing in the rest of the main heating display. So I'll be putting in this will just be a tkinter label, and so will this, and so will this. These are the buttons that I created in a previous video. So right, let's get on with it. So here's my script. This is my heating menu layout. So we've got this back button, plus hour, and this program button. So now what I need to do is I want to bring in my upstairs temperature button. So that'll be a tkinter, and we're going to use this as a label. I may change this depending, see how it goes on when I start putting in the actual text for the actual upstairs temperature. We'll see how it goes. So this will be upstairs, and I want to have a background for that just so it stands out a little, and I need to have a width, so I'm just going to stick a width of 15 for now, just to get it in there, and I will need a height, and we'll put 10 for now. Whoops. So up temp dot grid. This is going to be on row 0, and this is going to be on these are column 1s, so this will be column 1. They're column 0s, sorry. And this wants to row. In fact, I'll show you first what I mean. So what I'll do is I'll just increase the height just so you can see exactly what I mean. I need to put my bracket. Right, let's get that on. Let's get it on. Right, you see what I mean? What I'll do is I'll turn my cursor on so it shows up in the display. I need to do a padding at the top, but notice how it's totally disrupted the button order. So what I need to put in here is what's called row span equals 2, because it's going to go into the next row, and I want to have some padding in there on the y-axis, and the other ones I've got 5, so I'll put 5 in, and I was going to turn off have my cursor back in play, so I'm just going to cut that by pressing Ctrl X, put a hash at the end, and then Ctrl V, and that will put that there just so I don't forget about it. Right, let's run that, see how that looks. Alright, see how it's not disrupting these buttons. So we need to sort out our positioning of that button. So first of all, we need to make sure this goes to the what's called top position by using the word the parameter sticky. You have north for having the button up, east, south, and west. So put it into the top position. See how that looks. Looks good, but it's too high. We need to bring it down as well. So the padding needs to be more. So we'll put it about 10, and the height needs to come down as well. So put that there, and the height wants to go with 12. See how that looks. Down a smidgen more, but the height looks okay to me. Let's round that up. Put that to 16. Height for good. That wants to be. Oops. Put that a little bit more. That looks about level. Happy with that. Super duper. Right. Let's put the downstairs, and then let's bring the rest in. So basically we want to copy exactly what's here. So I'll put down temp equals tk dot label, and this wants to be in the disp frame, and the text is going to be downstairs. We want a background, this will be grey just like the other one. We want to have the width to be the same as the one above it, so 16, and we want to have the same height. Sorted. Down temp dot grid to put it in there. This wants to be on row same. Well, this one, because that's going over 0 and halfway over 1, we need to start this as row 1, and this will be column 1, and this wants to row span just like the other one, row span of 2. We're going to have a padding of 12, so it comes up from the bottom, but this time we want this one to go in the south direction, so it goes downwards basically. See how that looks? Looks alright. The height could slightly change, so let's see if we can make that 7, wrong one, 13, wow, that's good. 13, still 16, I didn't mess that bit up. It's a bit close, so we'll leave that as 12. This actual border isn't actually going to be in it. This is just as a guideline, just so I can get the spacing right, because the text that I use on my screensaver, it's going to come on in a second or two. There we go. So I mean, the height of that, sorry, the width of that is almost the width of the actual grey box, so the text font should be about right to have some digits there, but that's where the position will be. Right, so let's bring in the set temperature. So set temp equals tk dot label again, and this is going to be in the disp frame, as in display frame. Text we'll just put in for the set temp on this one, and we'll have a background of grey again. This one we're going to have a width, it wants to be wider, but just to get stuff in there, let's put it as well, it wants to be double width, so we'll go with 32. The height won't matter, because I'm going to set that in the grid and using sticky north and south, so it goes to the top and the bottom. So set temp dot grid, this wants to be row 0 from the very top, and this is going to be in column 2, because the other one's above, 1, and this wants to be row span, and it wants to be 3, because it's going to be row 0, looking at these, row 0, 1 and 2, so that's 3 rows. This wants to have a paddy of same as the other one, 12, and the sticky equals north and south to take it the top and the bottom. Let's have a look at it. Awesome. We need to have some padding on the X axis, so let's just slide that in there, put 10 there, just see how that looks. Needs a bit more width to it. 14. Yeah, it's not bad. We'll leave it as that for now. Let's get the other two buttons in. Right, so this is going to be plus temp image, because this is going to be the button that we've previously created on the previous video. This is going to be a tk.photo image. File will be plus underscore temp underscore btn.png, if I remember correctly. So that will be the plus temp button, will be a tkinter button. This is going to be in the disp frame, and we're going to set the image to equal what we've just created, plus temp image, and we want a background of black. We need to have that border of 0 and the highlight thickness active black, so what I'll do is I'll just slightly cheat and copy that. Just makes it a little bit quicker. Sorted. Let's move this down, up, and now I need to put it into the window. So plus button, plus temp button dot grid. This wants to be in O. Let's go with row instead. This wants to be in, this is the plus one, so this wants to be 0, and this will be column after that one, so that'll be column 3. This wants to have a padding of, just like the first ones, they have a padding of 5. This wants to be sticky to the north as well. See how that looks? We haven't got his image because I've messed up, and it's upset the column span because I didn't put that in. Row span even, because it's going to jump 2 rows, and I need to put that up here, and now it should be showing. There we go. The height is perfect, but the gapping is slightly off, so I move that away from the side. So the actual edge there is great, to be fair, but it's different width there because we've got the 5 pixels around the actual button, which I like to have. So what I need to do is, the only way I can get these to have the same gap is I've got it set to 15 seconds. Let's just change that so I can see things better for longer. So I'll set that to 30. Let's put the bottom button in first. So this will be minus temp image equals tk.photo image, and this is a file that we're playing with, and this will be minus underscore temp underscore button btn.png. This will be minus temp btn, and this will be tk dot, not a label, it's a button, Martin. This wants to be into the disp frame, and the image that we're going to be playing with is minus temp image. We want a background of black. We need all that lot, don't we? I think I've still got it in as a copy, but I'll just do that anyhow. Super duper, and then minus temp button dot grid. This wants to be row equals, now because this is going to be halfway just like this, the downwards one basically, so this will be row 1, column will be the same as the one above, equal 3, and just like that one has row span 3. That's a set temp. What am I doing? Oh dear. Row span of 2. Looking at the wrong thing now. It is late. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I want to have a paddy of 5, and this wants to be sticky to the bottom in the south direction. So let's check that out. And I didn't put it as a global again. Did this on the previous button. Oh dear. Well, hey, got it, but the gapping needs to be addressed. Awesome. So, yeah, I want to sort that out. The way I can get around this is if I, rather than having the pad X on this one, set the pad X on this one, so it works from the right hand side, yeah, just like that one, and the top and bottom will be spot on, and that would have the pad, it's going to go back in a second in it, that would put the pad X in between these just the same as that one is, and what I'll do is I'll put a spacer in between here so I can get it spot on. Right, so that wants to be in between the up and down, so that wants to be in between this spacer, so this will be temp spacer. This wants to be a tk.label. This wants to be in the disp frame. I'm not going to have any text, to be fair. It's just going to be there. So I can just have that. Let's put the temp spacer dot grid, and this is going to go into row Hubo. So row 0 even. Column 0, and this is going to row span 3 because it's going to go top to bottom just like this one is. That's not going to be, what am I doing? That must be column 2, so I need to shift these ones up, so that'll be column 3. That will then become column 4, and that one will become column 4 too. So this wants to have a paddy pad X. We're going to put some pixels in between, so I'll just put 10 in for now, and then we want a padding at the, oh, we don't need a padding at the top because it's going to be black anyhow. But this wants to be sticky. I don't think it matters, to be fair. We'll put it in now. This will be north and south, so it goes from the top to the bottom. I do need to have that background colour, so I'm going to put background equals black. Try that, see how that looks. I think I've still got that padding on that one, haven't I? I have. Let's get rid of that. That wants to have the same padding as them, so that wants to be pad X equals 10. Pad X equals 10. Give that a shot. Ooh, it's looking alright. That's a little bit wide. I'm going to decrease that width in my spacer, put that down to 7. See how that looks? Maybe 6. It's looking alright. 1 pixel might not make much difference. That looks pretty good. Now the only problem I do have is the temperature plus and the temperature minus buttons. I thought they would have been more closer together when I looked at this. I did do the pixels as 210, didn't I? So that should have been about, I'm just looking at my cursor over this position here, so that's can't look like that. So that's the top. Yeah, so I didn't do the buttons high enough. Right, well that's something to do on the next video, I guess. But we've got our spacings all the way around. It's just the height for these 2 buttons I need to adjust. So that's it for this video. Catch me in the next one and I'll correct my buttons. Thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one.